No bad vibes, don't come around with that energy. They once right, they more family than some kin to me. They show me love, still watch out for my enemies. Leveled up to the max, but I ain't my peak. Money in the world in my hands, 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 money in the world in my hands.
Oh my goodness!
I see you doing your thing, everything they say you can't. You got it going your way, show it like what more can I say? I see you doing your thing, everything they say you can't. You got it going your way, show it like what more can I say? I see you doing your thing, everything they say you can't. You got it going your way, show it like what more can I say? I see you doing your thing, everything they say you can't. You got it going your way, show it like what more can I say? I ain't gotta say much, you shouldn't have to say much. Stay down so you came up, then came down and stayed up all night to the morning. Baggy eyes and you yawning, but the money keeps on calling, and we ain't about to ignore it, no. You go, you go, you go, till you got anything, give you some more. Like you on a hockey team, hit them goals. Money coming fast while you sipping slow. And me, I'm so past words, I just hit the code. Nothing funny, being broke is a joke. Get into it like it's all a nigga know. Mad I'm busy, but matter if I was broke. Yeah. And I show, so I ain't gotta say much, and you shouldn't have to say much. I see you doing your thing, everything they say you can't. You got it going your way, show it like what more can I say? I see you doing your thing, everything they say you can't. You got it going your way, show it like what more can I say? I see you doing your thing, everything they say you can't. You got it going your way, show it like what more can I say?
What is going on? Excuse me. I am going to let y'all in on. I know every time people hear this, they be like, "Ah, here you go with this. Here go people with this bullshit." Hey, excuse me. Trying to have no copyright issues. Yeah, every time people hear about this, they say, hear about birth certificate, this shit, or the straw man shit. Oh, here y'all got that crazy shit or that nonsense. That's what it always turns out to be for, I guess, maybe people who don't really read much. But let me get into it. We're gonna talk about the straw man. You have two legal entities. What is your straw man? Meaning that is your artificial person, which is the person that is second on your birth certificate, which is your well, in my case, I should have put that up there. I think I have a copy of a birth certificate. The all caps letters is your straw man. And then you have your living flesh and blood, which is your non-legal entity. We live in a world of commerce, contracts. Not that all that God-given right stuff that was already thrown out the window a long time ago. So we all been following laws of greedy people who made some shit up and decided to steal everything that didn't belong to them in the beginning. So when they did that, they made this little thing, which is, and something I did read, I came across, I was a little curious. The game of Monopoly. The game of Monopoly came out in the early 1900s. I want to say 1906 or something like that. The game came out about 1906, maybe 1904. I can't remember. And it had many different versions up until about 1932, I want to say, not long before they enacted the 1933 Cestui Act in America. The Monopoly game was bought by someone in America, and that's how they kind of came up with the strategy. You know, like when you plan the pieces of the Monopoly game, you're the car. You have a car. You're the car person, and or the iron or the thimble. I used to call it a trash can. That's a thimble. What else is there? A hat. All of these represent people as you're playing the board. Now you notice when you go around the board and you land on property that is not yours, you have to pay for it. You have to pay for electricity. You have to pay for water. You have to pay for railroad. You got to pay to get out of jail. It's all a gamble. Remember when you got to roll? What is it? You got to roll. What was it? Doubles. You had to roll doubles in order to get out of jail, or you had to pay. It's kind of like a gamble. Every time you pass go, which is at the end of the tax season, you collect your $200, but guess what? Guess about how much money you spent all in between that time of you collecting that $200 after you pass go. You had to give money up for bills. You landed on other people's property. And then remember, when you have all three properties and you cannot pay, guess what the bank does? They take it back, even though you bought it fair and square. So the game of Monopoly is just like the game of life. Not only is that, now that's not the only game they play. They play the game of chess as well, and they play it very well. I don't know how to play chess, but I know how to play dirty chess, and that's what everybody better learn to do. So back to the straw man. If you look in the dictionary, you'll see that there's a misleading proposition about it and definition, because if y'all know, there's so many dictionaries out here. You got Webster's, you got whoever else, I can't remember. I've only been digging into a couple of other dictionaries the past couple of years, which would be Black Law's Dictionary. There's several editions. They are very expensive, but you can download them online. Black's Law Dictionary, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this other one. Anyway, yeah, every dictionary has different meanings, literally. So you can be looking at one dictionary and then go to another dictionary, or maybe go to a certain amount of laws like United States codes. It'll have a different meaning depending on what it's used for. So the straw man is the legal entity, which is the all caps, which is when you see, you get something in the mail, you get a bill in the mail or something, or you get anything. You go to the doctor's office and you sign your name on these papers, but you sign it with your either cursive or some. I mean, everybody doesn't sign cursive because everybody didn't learn that. But you sign your name, but you don't sit there and you don't sign your name in all capital letters. But when you look at that paper, all of your name, birthday, everything's in all cap, address, everything, all capital letters. That's because that is the legal entity of you. I know it sounds a little stupid or, maybe confusing, but that's just what it is. I think if some people notice that they would go, you can go online and like go into your online account, like say your electric account. It'll be in your all caps, but if you actually go into your account and go check and see who was responsible for the account, you'll actually see your name, your regular name, your first letter capital, rest of them lowercase. That's because they're saying that you personally, your person, is responsible for that all caps person. When you get that bill, it's in all caps. So it's a little tricky. When you see United States, it's in all capital letters, it's because it's also a legal fiction. It's a corporation. There's several different versions of the United States that I'm not going to get into, but if you get what I'm saying, and you notice capital letters here, capital letters there, but you go to school, or you're filling out applications and such, and you're not sitting there putting all capital letters on everything, because that's not how you were taught to write. You're taught to write with your first letter, a capital, and the rest of them lowercase. It's not a computer error. It's not just how computers are, because you see computers can put, information in the system just like we write it on paper. So it's a whole nother world. Basically, let me see. When you're talking about the straw man and the legal fiction, looking at the word person, you could think, okay, yeah, I'm a person, duh. You're looking at yourself in the mirror. I'm a person. Yeah, but there's different types of persons. And this comes right back to having a legal fiction, artificial person or entity, whatever you want to call it. You have a natural person, which is a human being. Naturally born versus a legally generated jurisdictional person, which is your all caps. Then you have an artificial person, non-human. That's your all caps. That non-human entity that's created by law is legally different. And then not only that, it has its own rights, because guess what? That all caps is a corporation. Let me see. Here, another person, judicial person. It's an entity as a firm. It's not a single natural being or human being authorized by law with duties and rights. It's also known as a legal person, basically. So there's tons of different meanings of every single word, like I said. So like here's another: human being. That's what we would think a person is, right? A human being. A human being is an entity such as a corporation that is recognized by law as having the rights and duties of a human being. So that's your definition of a human being in reality. And I really hate to say reality, because reality is that's just gone out the window. So like I said, the United States has several different meanings. You have your corporation, which is your created legal fiction. And when you're looking at your birth certificate, you see that you have your name spelled in all normal letters. Your little normal letters, everything is spelled out like that. Then you have your date of birth. My birth certificate says I was born February 13th. Now, the date that my legal fiction artificial person was created, that day I'm looking, that day, which would be my second birthday, would be, and it's kind of weird because they got it all they kind of got it crossed out, so I never really knew, but I want to say that will be February the 24th. So that would be my second birthday. I know it takes like 7 to 10 days for them to actually register you. So when they register you, you're registered as a whole new entity. So pay attention to your birth certificate. You got a registered birth and a birthday. And then you got a bond number on your birth certificate, as well as, actually 2 bond numbers. So you pay attention to that, because it's not a game. And then look at the paper that your birth certificate is printed on. The birth certificates are printed on bond paper. And I will get into that at one point, but bond paper it's special. Bond paper is really special. Bond paper is gold. So when you think about your straw man, and then you're saying like, yeah, what is the straw man for? Well, they had to use you because America was bankrupt. And this is where we come in. This is where we come with coming to 1933 when birth certificates started becoming monetized. Okay, come on. Birth certificates started to become monetized, meaning when America was bankrupt, the foreign corporation from over in London said, "Hey, we got you. We need collateral." So this is what they did. They said, "We'll take all of our people's gold and silver, and we'll put it in your bank. And what we're going to do is we're going to register each person. Excuse me. We'll register each person." Sorry. So yeah. So they basically said the bank said, "We'll bail you out. We need collateral. All right, we'll give you all of our people. We'll give you all their riches." So they stole everything. They told, made everybody give them their gold and silver because that was the only, form of payment with the barter system. And they turned it into a trust, which is very important for everybody to start learning about. Took everybody hostage basically and made us slaves. We're working off of our labor, paying 80% of everything that we fucking earn on our own money, on our own land. And I mean, this stuff gets real deep. So, you're thinking, okay, 1933, what does that have to do with me? It has a lot to do with everybody. When there was they declared emergency because America was bankrupt. Franklin D. Roosevelt, the asshole, he came up with this little system, and I think it was really fucked up. But all the governors, they kind of just basically made a pledge to the United States Incorporated. Now it's not called the United States Incorporated anymore. They did change the name. As a matter of fact, I think they changed it probably less than 10 years ago, because it was United States Incorporated, United States Inc. You got your USA, United States Corporation. If you go look at the SEC site, it's the Security Exchange site, you'll see that they are registered as a foreign entity, just like any other business. Because I don't know if a lot of people know where United States really is, but United States is nothing but 10 miles thanks to DC. That's the United States. So we talked about the corporation. I said about the corporation. The United States was being very deceitful when they stole everything, which is what they're still doing. You had taxes come into play, and here's one thing: taxes are not even. You don't really have to pay taxes. For one, the reason why is because taxes are only for corporations. Now, remember, your corporation is your all caps. That'll be your straw man. So, you personally, you don't have to pay taxes. It's completely voluntary. They got forms on the IRS site that lets you know that you can withdraw your consent to pay taxes, because you can withdraw consent to do any and everything in this country due to the fact that when you were born, you were bamboozled. You were completely bamboozled when you were born with the birth certificate. That's how they got you. So everything that you're mixed in, you can get out of. You can get out of all of the jurisdictions. You can get out of, having to pay taxes. You can get out of having to abide by, the society that they create, that they want you to live in. Like I said, everything is based on money. You got all these bonds taken out on everybody. When you go to jail, here's another thing. When you're in jail, which really, really, really sucks, but you're only in jail because of money. And the prisons, they make the most money because they can keep people in there as long as they want. So understand, everything is about money. When it comes to your taxes, when it comes to your credit, when it comes to your bank accounts, I'm really gonna start letting loose, because I can tell you now, when you have a bank account, banks don't have any money. When you give them a signature, you're giving them money. Y'all have to realize that money is created by you. You create money. You create money. So then, yeah, we talked about how your name is in all capital letters on everything. Now, everything that your name is on, as such as your driver's license or your utility bills, insurance cards, all of that. And we're gonna get into insurance too at one point. What's crazy is they all have an account themselves. And you and I are being traded just like cattle, because that is what we are. We are cattle. Nothing more than cattle. Everything that we have, anything that with a seal. And I'm going to get back. I know I did a video before about what a credit card is. But you hold credit cards in your hand all the time, in your wallet. You got your social security card, that's a credit card. You got your driver's license, that's a credit card. And ID, that's a credit card. Any card is a credit card. So don't let them tell you anything different. And I will make sure I do another video and give the laws on exactly what are credit cards. So we have the origin of the birth certificate. You have your long form and your short form. Now, your long form, a lot of states don't still have a long form, but they say that you have your birth certificate and your certificate of live birth. Now, I have my certificate of live birth, and it's a short form. But there is supposedly an original copy, and I'm gonna say that that's the OG copy that is held either in DC or the Vatican. And for those Catholics out there, yes, the Vatican is very dirty. So your birth certificate is a bond. When government sells bonds, it does it on a basis that it believes that it'll collect enough money from the citizens to pay back the bond amount when it matures. So the bond, they have the bonds on the people / the birth certificates. Since the living people will be providing the money to pay back the principal and the interest on the bond. So without your knowledge or consent, the government placed you into a state of bondage and made you security or guarantor grantor of all of their loans. All the loans they take out under everybody. Current at birth, when you were born, the state, they created the birth certificate for the new living being, and then they registered it. They recorded the birth certificate. The serial number is passed to the government, the federal government's Department of Commerce or Treasury. Now, I've heard it's both, so I'm going to believe it's both. And then at around the same time, the federal government creates the straw man with the exact same name that your parents gave you, just in all capital letters. And then the birth certificates, what they do is they provide the government proof that there's a living person that is existing. Now, the living person is expected to give the money to the government throughout their life, throughout all their working life. So for each birth certificate, say the government can estimate how long you'll live for. It's like they could put a timeline on you, how much you earn and how much you'll receive from them in taxes and other debts in your straw man name. So it's a little crazy. It's crazy. And again, they're supposed to be paying us back. So they're supposed to be paying us back. But do they do that? No, they do not. So since your birth certificate identifies the real living you, the name on it will never be spelled in all capital letters. And that's because the government straw man or the artificial person is spelled. So instead of the names like me, I'm going to say my name is Ashley K. Smith. And the name that will be on, the name that would be on everything else would be that in all capital letters. I would yell it, but you know what I mean. So that's part of that part. It's really crazy. I mean, just start looking this stuff up. You know, if you don't believe me, look it up. So in order to open up a bank account, you need to you got to give the bank your birth certificate sometimes, or a social security card, or some type of identification. And it'll be in all capital letters, even though when you wrote out, you know, the application, it was written out normal, and your the way you were taught to write your name in school. So since the account is in all caps, that money does not belong to you. It belongs to the straw man. And since the straw man is a creation of the government, that means that the government's money in the account is not yours, which is why they can do whatever they want with your account. They can impose fees. They can, you know, they can do whatever they want. And then not only that, on the backside, they're making money off of your name because all they need is your signature. So, yeah, none of that money is yours. Even though you make that money, it ain't yours because it belongs to that all caps person. Now, just really think about it. You're sitting here writing your name. You don't write your name in all caps, but every time you see your name involving you in any type of business, it's in all caps. So don't think I'm crazy, but it is what it is. Another important thing to understand is that the banks, their bookkeeping records involve a lot of credit and debits rather than cash. Credit is money because there is no money. Legally, there is no money whatsoever. So, yeah, the credit is money and the bank owes someone. The bank owes that money to someone. And debit is the money that someone owes to the bank. Because like I said earlier, banks don't have money. And the money in your bank account is not cash, it's credit. And credit is an IOU. So the money in the account is really money that the bank owns and owes to you, the customer. And before, you probably thought you had a bank account with your money in it, but again, that's not it. That's in that all caps, which means that's the government's money. So if I was you, I'd go either close that a bank account or go to the bank, go to your bank and get a signature card and change your signature on there and put your regular name, your beneficiary name, which would be your first dash middle colon last name. That lets you know that that is the person, that's you, the living person. With that being said, with you, your birth certificate holding all this money, holding all this value, and I'm going to put it like that, your birth certificate holds value. It holds nothing but value. So you are a creditor. If you perform for an acceptance for value on the straw man debt, the government agency which issued the debt may threaten you, which they do, and then say that they have the right to take the money from your account to pay the outstanding debt. But all the bank accounts are in the name of the straw man. And since a straw man is an entity of the government concludes that the money in the straw man bank account is theirs. This is how, effed up they are. So you can take control of it. And when you do, all the bank accounts and other property held in that name, that's all, the straw man name, that's all yours. So we'll get into the rest of that, of how to take control, how to take control of your straw man. It's a lot of work, and you have to be strong to do it. This stuff is not easy. It's a lot to learn, and you also have to basically relearn everything you knew about yourself and about life, because everything is a lie. If you don't believe me, go to your state's UCC site. It's probably on the Secretary of State, on the Secretary of State site, your UCC Uniform Commercial Code. Go in there. All states are not they don't cost to search, but go look up your name in the UCC site, preferably in the state that you live in or a state that you recently lived in. Look up your name as, maybe, let's see, a debtor. You'll find out that you will definitely find out that you got a lien out on you on somehow, even on the things that you own. You sign a lease, you sign a mortgage. Yeah, be careful doing that. Be careful signing a mortgage, because it's not always what it's cracked up to be. They beat you to the punch, and it's a lot. It is a lot. So this is just a one little small video. I'm really going to break it down, very, very well, as far as getting out of the situation, taking control. This stuff is it's so crazy that you can basically, one, take back your name. Your name. Excuse me. And the most important part is making everybody abide by the laws. Matter of fact, I'll look up one now. Here's one of the most important laws that I do stress. Laws need to be learned, because we don't learn laws. They don't teach you laws in school. They teach you everything that they don't want you to know in school. That's the problem. This is why I had problems in school, because of the fact that I just wasn't cool with, none of the nonsense. It's like, what was I going to use this stuff for? I never knew what I was going to use this stuff for. So I didn't really start learning until I was in my 20s. I didn't really start learning real shit till I was in my 20s. So here's the most important law that I really want everybody to understand. U.S. Code 18 U.S.C. or U.S. Code subsection 8. Obligation or other security of the United States. And I guess I can get back into how I can tell you how money is not real and woo-woo, but the term obligation or other security of the United States includes all bonds, certificates of indebtedness, national bank currency, Federal Reserve notes or FRNs, or Federal Reserve bank notes, which are FRBNs, coupons, and that's a powerful word, coupons, United States notes or U.S. notes, Treasury notes, gold certificates, silver certificates, fractional notes, certificates of deposits, bills, checks, or drafts for money drawn by or upon authorized officers of the United States, stamps and other representatives of value or of whatever denomination issued under any act of Congress and canceled, United States stamps. That basically tells you that every obligation is the United States. So again, we don't own ourselves. We have kids. We don't own our kids. This is why they could come and take your kids whenever there's an issue, because you don't own your kids. But what they do is, even with child support, they make it seem like you're legally your child is property of the United States, not you. And you can actually claim your kids as your property to take them back. And I really hate the way it sounds. I've been dreading doing it because I just literally hate the way it sounds, but I'm going to get it done this week, and I'm going to go ahead and, sign all mine over to being, under my control. They're apparently my property. So therefore I will be obligated to take care of them. And they are my obligation. But right now, and just like a lot of other people, paying child support, and they say that you're obligated to pay. No. You're obligated to pay. It's your kids, your child, not mine. I just birthed the kid, or that's my DNA. But other than that, you own the kid, so the kid is your obligation, which is why they take control of the trust accounts that come with the Social Security number, or your Social Security number, your Social Security, and the birth certificate. And they have so many different accounts set up, and trust accounts and trade, and it's just crazy. It mind boggles me, but this is why I dug so deep into it, and I wanted to get out. There's several ways you can own your name. You can have fee schedules. You start using, here's another one. UCC 1-308. I use this a lot. Everything. UCC 1-308, which is reservation of rights. You're on the reservation of rights. When you sign things, I'll just go ahead and read it. UCC 1-308, a party with explicit reservation of rights performs or promises performance or assents to performance in a manner demanded or offered by the other party, does not thereby prejudice the rights reserved. Such words as without prejudice, under protest. I use without prejudice all the time. My driver's license, right up under the signature of my driver's license that I'm ready to give back, that I will be giving back soon. It says UCC 1-308 without prejudice in marker. And it's directly up underneath my signature on my driver's license. If I was to get pulled over, show the officer my driver's license, and he and he gives me a citation or a ticket, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to sign that ticket with my name, my beneficiary name for one. I'm going to sign with my beneficiary name, and I'm going to sign it UCC 1-308 without prejudice. That's how I'm going to sign it. I'm going to go to court, and I'm going to show the judge, like, hey, Your Honor, you see my ID, the driver's license has UCC 1, without prejudice on it, and that case has to be thrown out. The officer made a whole mistake. He's seen that on the bottom of my driver's license. There's so many ways. But yeah, every time you sign something, I don't care what it is, signing the lease, you want a public assistance, credit card, or anything. You at the store and you sign off on your name. When you use your receipt, when you pay with a credit card, debit card, you can get a receipt, and you got to sign it and give it back. Sign it without prejudice. Sign everything without prejudice. You're reserving your rights, and you're not 100% liable. It's kind of like you forced to sign under duress. You can set up fee schedules. You just record everything, and you have to get familiar with the notary. Being with a notary, notarize every single thing. Make sure you got copies of every single thing that you have and you send out. You can have a fee schedule. Just like these people have fee schedules. These companies get all these fee schedules. Oh, if you don't pay me in this amount of time, then you're gonna, this is how much it is. Send their ass a fee schedule. Yep, you want me to pay this, and you want to send me a letter. Yeah, that's gonna be $5,000. And then, whoopty one. Then they don't want to pay. You start sending their asses invoices. They wanna pull you over, take you to court. Guess what? My court fee is $500,000, and then I go by the minute after that. So what you want to do? If I get pulled over, I own my name. It's copyrighted. It's trademark. I own that whole corporation. So even then, if a cop I got papers in the car, I can show them my certificates and my paperwork. Now, if you choose to engage in a conversation with me, just know that's going to cost you. If you choose to try to give me some type of citation, just know that's going to cost you. And it's going to cost you a lot. So you better get your supervisor over here. They get that supervisor, it's going to be up to them. That the officer, he most likely will not be giving me a ticket due to the fact that he's going to have to quit his job, because he's going to have to sign for a bond too as well. So he's going to have to quit his job in order to give me that ticket, because you can't, it doesn't work like that. You can't, a corporation don't work like that. And I'm power of attorney over that. It's a lot of ways. This shit is very powerful. And when shit hits the fan, you want to be ready. The Vatican already taking stuff back, changing shit. The Queen, that bitch is dead. I mean, it's just a lot. It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit that's about to pop off, and you want to be safe. This is good for people in jail. You can get out of jail just by, getting your bonds and getting those bonds paid off without paying a penny. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with money and paper. Money and paper. It's a process, but it's gonna get done. So I really hope a lot of people are going to get this, and I hope y'all see this, and I really want everybody to start being conscious of themselves, because this shit is crazy, and it's about to get bad, and you really want to be ready for what's going to come. And not only that, you have you won't have any more restrictions. As long as you don't kill anybody, you can live life. I want to get to the point to where I am basically my own country. Just like the United States is a foreign entity, so am I. I'm a foreign country myself. And I want to continue that, and I want to build that. I want my own currency. I want to make a community currency. I want to do a lot. I want to, take life in a different direction, and we can do that. But we got to set ourselves free. We got to stop being scared, because, for one, we hold all the power. They just, running shit for us, but we don't need that. We don't need them to run things for us anymore. Well, some people do, because they can't think for themselves. But I can think for myself, and my thing is I'm going to get it done. I don't want to be tied down. I'm done with all the rules and restrictions. I want to live life. I really want to live life. I want to travel. I want to be able to do what I want to do. And I can't do that being under jurisdiction of somebody who doesn't have my best interests. So if these people, you people not going to listen, my next move is when it starts to get warm again, I'm hitting the streets, and I'm helping out the homeless, and we're going to get this shit done. They won't be homeless no more. So we're going to get it done, and I really hope everybody is ready. I know I be sounding crazy and all this extra stuff, but this is some real shit. It's real shit. We're not really United States citizens. You can be whoever the fuck you want to be. You want to be Asian, change your race. Everything is up to you because everything was placed on you by default. You don't have to let somebody tell you who you are. That's not necessary. Me, I don't want to be black. You know what? I'm Caucasian, I'm white, and I done made up a whole new race for myself. I'm me. That's what's going to be showing on my records. I'm not black no more. I never was black. I was never an African American. Never. So it's a lot that you can do. It's a lot that we're going to do. It's a lot we're going to get done. I just need everybody else to kind of, jump on the bandwagon and let's get this shit rolling. Let's get it rolling. I know I'll be on some other shit and I been off the bat for a while, but that's because I'm getting this shit together. And when I'm done with me and mine, I'm coming for everybody else, whoever's ready. So if you're not ready, you're just not going to be ready. But those who are want to get ready, I'm down. Let's go. As many people as we can. I'm trying to change communities. I'm trying to change lives. I'm trying to get up out of all this shit. I just want everybody to live comfortably because we can. This is our home. We want to be fucking free. We fucking slaves. And people don't understand that. You're still slaves. Slavery never died. It was never abolished. What do you think you're doing now? Being told what to fucking do. Oh, you can't go pee. You can't go to the bathroom at this time. You need to be at work at this time. You can't take a break at this time. You can't take this day off. You can't do this. You got to follow all these goddamn rules and policies and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Nope, yep, that's because you're a goddamn slave. An economical equity slave. So, again, hopefully people will start to understand that there's more to life than the bullshit that you're throwing. And for those of you who read the Bible and all that stuff, you think this is the life that God wanted for you? You think this is the life God wanted for you? Okay. No, it is not. I realize that shit. How can I be in such bad shape? How can life be so bad? How can all these people be this and that? And this is not what God said. So I need to get to the basis of what's really fucking going on. And this is where it led me to. Down the rabbit hole. And whew. So, yeah. I'm just getting started. I'm going to try to do a video every single day with this and give out more information. I do a lot of short videos. But I do want to do more longer explanatory videos. If y'all haven't seen my other ones, I've showed people how to send mail completely for free with no fucking stamps. Everything, you can order everything for free from the United States Postal Service website. Everything is free because everything is prepaid. Everything is prepaid in this world. Everything. We're not supposed to be paying for shit. But we are. So, I'm going to get everybody back to where we're going to be free and we're going to be living life like we're supposed to. If we want a country hop and do all this, and we can do that. Even for my felons out there, y'all can still be free too. You want to still carry a gun, you can do that. There's ways to do that. Get to that point to where you don't have to have them, the government saying what you can and cannot do. You follow God's rule and don't kill nobody. That's what you do. That's all you got to do. So, with that being said, this is this one for tonight. May do another one, depends on how I feel. But when I do talk about this, I get super excited. So, I get to talking and don't know when to shut the fuck up. So, that's that one, guys. And catch me tonight and everybody else, probably 10:30, 11:30 Central Standard Time for my podcast, Talk Royalty Podcast. We go on live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Look, I got a brain fart. I'm talking about other shit. When I be on this shit, I be going. But anything other than that, I tend to kind of can't really remember. So yes, catch us tonight. Talk Royalty Podcast live. We love to have people come in on the show. We love to have guests. We always put a link in the comment section. Click the link. You can join us via video live. We talk about everything. Lately, we've been kind of taking it down a little bit because of everything that's going on in this world, and it's just so nonstop. So, yes, definitely catch us tonight. Deuces.
No bad vibes. No bad vibes. Don't come around with that energy. They once right, they more family than some kin to me. They show me love, still watch out for my enemies. Leveled up to the max, but I ain't in my peak. Money in the world in my hands. 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 Money in the world in my hands.
Oh my goodness.
I see you doing your thing. Everything they say you can't. You got it going your way. So feel like what more can I say? I see you doing your thing. Everything they say you can't. You got it going your way. So feel like what more can I say? I see you doing your thing. Everything they say you can't. You got it going your way. So feel like what more can I say? I see you doing your thing. Everything they say you can't. You got it going your way. So feel like what more can I say? I ain't gotta say much. You shouldn't have to say much. Stay down so you came up, then came down and stayed up all night to the morning. Baggy eyes and you yawning, but the money keeps on calling, and we ain't about to ignore it, no. You go, you go, you go, till you got anything, then you some more. Like you on a hockey team, here them goes. Money coming fast while you sipping slow. And me, I'm so past words, I just hit the code. Nothing funny, being broke is a joke. Get into it like it's all a nigga know. Mad I'm busy, but matter if I was broke. Yeah. And I show, so I ain't gotta say much. And you shouldn't have to say much. I see you doing your thing. Everything they say you can't.